Okay.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of Preparing to Podcast. The podcast where two Canadian comedians chat and talk about the world and chat with other comedians. And as always, I'm Ted Morris
I'm
with
Chuck
me,
Byrne.
Chuck Byrne.
Yeah.
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Ted.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Studio Chuck.
Studio Chuck. Yes, we've titled my apartment now has a title.
Yeah,
It's very fancy.
it's a better tax write-off now.
It is not that it wasn't a tax write-off before.
Even greater now.
Well, before it was mainly just Asian women sewing purses, but now
And that's fine. I
we're
mean,
broadcasting.
you have to sleep in the hallway, but that's fine.
That's fine. I said Dee Dee Mao. Was that awful? Was that awful?
No, I
No?
love it.
Okay,
I
good.
love it.
I mean, it
Comes to
made
make
you
good
laugh.
drag
At
names
the end of
too.
the day, I measure most things by did it make Ted laugh?
Did it
But
make
if
you
it
laugh?
made Ted laugh, then I'm good,
I
right?
was just filing that away into my list of potential drag queen names. Hi, I'm Dee Dee Mao.
Dee Dee Mao. Dee Dee Mao. Yes, she's a Vietnamese Jew.
Yeah,
Dee Dee Mao.
Dee Dee Mao. Then you better get down.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. That
That
was
was
fun.
fun.
That
That
was
was good.
fun.
You know what? I think that's the whole episode right there. Let's
It's
just do a tight 2 minute one
it's
this week.
just tight 2 minutes.
Tight 2 minutes. Yeah.
Tight 2 minutes. That's good.
Yeah. Speaking of previous episodes,
Yes.
did we get any viewer feedback? I know we had a little break.
We did. We had a holiday break, and over the holiday break, we did get some viewer feedback, but mainly it was just silence.
Yeah,
And what I take that to mean is that we're doing everything
perfectly.
perfectly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no news means you're doing a great job.
Yeah. Just stay the same.
Yeah.
Still getting a lot of hurtful comments about my teeth, so I will try to stay very tight-lipped
I
throughout the
will
episode.
also try to refrain from making so many hurtful comments about your teeth. I
What
just
sucks is that you have lovely teeth and a lovely smile.
I show them all off.
You've got a big teethy
I
smile.
have
I
a
don't have
big.
the big teethy smile.
I was chastised by a dentist
I have a,
for
I
having
have,
a
I
wide smile.
chastised?
They're like, you've got some gingivitis. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, because your gums are dry. I'm like, okay. It's like, because you have a wide smile. I'm like, but
Really?
aren't you in the smile business? Dentists?
You'd think they'd be encouraging smiling
Yeah.
to show off their work.
So my friendly smile leads to bleeding gums, which is kind of takes away from the impact of
But an excellent blues
course.
musician on the early years of The Simpsons.
Yes, bleeding gums Murphy.
Living up there.
R.I.P.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
In a year.
So yeah, not a lot of specific comments. Nothing particularly hurtful though. So I take that as a step in the right direction.
Well, season's greetings.
Yeah, I guess Jesus' birthday, people are getting soft. I mean, yeah,
Soft.
they're getting soft.
Pussies.
Um,
No one wanted coal in their stocking.
is that still a thing? Coal? Was that the naughty thing? You got a lump of coal?
You got a lump of coal
A lump of
in
coal.
your stocking.
But I would think in the 1800s, a lump of coal would be
A great gift.
Yeah.
This is going to keep us warm
Yeah.
for several hours.
heat and disease all in one.
Yeah, and also good for your teeth. Just rub that
for your
coal,
teeth.
little charcoal on your
Good
teeth.
for your
Yum, yum,
teeth.
yum.
Maybe rub it on your face. Do some Al Jolson impressions
Yeah.
for the family at the holidays,
It's great.
right?
It'll help with the breakouts and
Yeah. I mean, it's the 1800s, so people aren't really going to get on you about the blackface.
Yeah.
And if they do, it'll probably be, congratulatory.
yeah, congratulations on that amazing blackface. you
Just the
did.
great thing about going back in time is that you get to be more hurtful with less consequence.
Yes.
I wonder if that's true of going into the future. I wonder if we'll be able to be more hurtful. It looks like we're going to be able to be more hurtful.
It
without
really does. Yeah,
Yes.
it really does feel like
Thanks.
everyone is just leaning into being
While
mean.
while the what is it, the arc of justice, or the arc of time leans towards justice.
Time is a
the-
flat circle. That's all I know. Time is a flat
That's the
circle.
Martin Luther King Jr. quote, right? Like the arc of time bends towards justice. I think
only know
the
one quote.
reality of time shows that justice is just going to be screwed up into a little ball and tossed into the waste paper basket if there's money to be made.
That was the epilogue of Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time.
Brief history of time.
Once he covered all the stuff about black holes.
Colon,
Oh, and by
we're
the
all
way,
doomed.
Yeah. Colon. But that's a man who couldn't move who cheated on his wife, so that's impressive.
It is true.
That's very impressive.
Did he really?
So many children. Yeah.
He couldn't move and he cheated on his wife. That's commitment.
But that voice, I mean, that's a sultry,
Uh,
seductive.
little lower. Little lower. That's it. That's it.
Again.
Again.
Again. Well, it was a sense of humor. Women love a guy with a sense of humor
Exactly.
and
Timing.
no ability to swallow.
A little ability to
Yeah.
swallow, and probably I don't imagine he demanded to be on top very often.
No, but that would be awkward with that chair.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wonder if he had one of those chairs that, like, raises you up and makes you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he had black hole money.
You'd think. I don't know. I don't know how much of a cut Oxford takes off the top.
Just, just a tiny little sliver. It's
Well,
fine.
Isaac Newton would have been a billionaire,
Yeah.
but
Instead,
Oxford took their cut. He only ended up with like a third of that apple, by the way.
yeah, he started off with an orchard and ended up with one slice of an
Yeah.
apple.
It was barely enough for a juice.
Thanks for the gravity.
Jerk.
He did not appreciate the gravity of the situation.
But we do have something new that we're trying for episode 7.
Yes, you are going to be blown away by this.
I think so. Well, what it is the idea behind the preparing to podcast format is that with each episode we like to improve our environment a little bit,
Yes.
and we also like to kind of shift what we're doing towards what will eventually be a show we're really happy with.
Yeah, I like that you're putting a spin on incompetence. I like this.
Well, that's the thing is we're training up. We're hopefully getting better at what we do, and the police are diligently monitoring the neighborhood, as you can hear. And I forgot to close the door before we started shooting this little segment. And so, should we wait for them?
Should we wait for this?
Should we hold for the police? I don't know.
Are they coming here? Should I close
You
the
know
door?
what? You know what?
I can close the window.
No, fuck the police. I said
Oh.
fuck the police right
That's the
there.
first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, really?
That's catchy.
It is. Maybe we should get a song going.
We should.
We should get a song going. Something with an upbeat,
Yeah.
fuck the police, 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 that kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay, but what we were doing is the show we used to do the kind of we would record the conversation, pull out some highlights, and then kind of put it together into a show, and then afterwards we would eat ribs,
Delicious ribs.
delicious,
Delicious ribs.
And now, because the ribs are so popular, what we've decided to do is just eat ribs while we're recording the conversation.
Who are we trying to impress?
I don't know.
3 people, 3 viewers. That's who we're trying to impress.
2 of whom think I have bad teeth. So, exactly.
Yeah, good eyes.
Uh,
Well spotted.
little spot. Fucking jerks. All of you fucking jerks. All of you.
Every single one.
So today will be a little bit of an experiment. We're going to
Yep.
see how it works. We've switched to the wireless microphones so that
lavalier.
yeah, so just so there isn't as much competition for the and the hope is that by giving people things to do with their hands, there won't be as much interrupting because people will have something to do with their mouths instead of talking. We can perhaps do some more listening. Something I'm guilty of. I'm guilty of interrupting a lot.
Yeah.
And I will happily just shove food in my face instead.
Yeah, and next week I will every now and then I will hand you a rib. That'll be your cue to be like, oh, I've been going on a diatribe for a while. I'll just quietly.
It appears my turn
will appear in front of your face.
My turn is now over.
No.
That's an excellent idea.
Done.
I could think of a few better ways to get me to shut up. Hey, just
Put meat in
wave
my face.
a rib, maybe open a dirty magazine in front of me. Yeah. Ooh, what's that? Hustler?
Do dirty magazines exist?
Oh yeah,
They still do. Yeah, Steph Tolev had an interview in Hustler.
Yeah. What?
Steph Tolev had an interview. I think it was Hustler.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, like a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah. She strikes. Yeah. She's got a hustler vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not a bad thing.
No, it's a great.
Hustler vibe is a great thing. It's I like to party, I like to fuck. To me that's the hustler vibe.
I have a hustler vibe.
You have a hustler vibe.
Yeah.
You like-
People don't recognize my hustler vibe, but I like to party, and
Well,
I
see, yeah, because you've always kind of had more of a good housekeeping feel to me.
Good Housekeeping, Red Book, that kind of thing. Marie Claire.
Chatelaine.
I mean, as long as there's a little perfume insert. I don't know if they still do
Yeah,
those, but
yeah.
I love just rubbing those on me.
Dabba dabba.
Yeah,
Little
I love
dabba.
a pretty girl.
Yeah, I have always mayonnaise aficionado is a big one for me.
Mayonnaise enthusiast.
Yes. And
Mayonnaise podcast.
Yes.
Just rating different kinds of mayonnaise. No aiolis though. 'Cause
and Chubby Chasers Quarterly is another magazine, and that's mainly for the want ads. Okay. Oh,
I don't want those ads.
We have a fabulous show coming up this episode right now, the one that you're currently enjoying.
This one.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Who are our guests?
Our guests are hilarious Canadian comedians Nick Beaton. You may be familiar with his podcast, Agree and Disagree.
Agree and disagree.
And disagree. And fabulous comedian Dylan Mendelsohn, who, if you're a cruise ship enthusiast, you might have seen one of his shows
You
recently.
might have seen one of his shows, and he's one of those Canadian comedians that was down in the States for a while, and then he was back and forth. But now I think he's going to be back here full time because he recently had a baby.
Recently had a baby, and it's Canada's a better place to have babies in.
Yes, because if your baby gets sick, we do not take it down to the river and throw it in a bag.
Yeah, because you can't get bags here anymore.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And they just fall out of the paper bags too
You
quickly.
can't, yeah. Baby in a paper bag, they can get right out of that.
Yeah.
It's not like a cat that'll just sit in there patiently.
Yeah. Although we had a burial at sea for one of our family cats. Before I was around, took him down to the St. John's Harbor, put him in a paper bag along with some rocks, and said some words. And
Was the cat dead?
yeah, the cat.
Oh, okay.
Cat was,
The cat was already dead.
and then threw him out into the harbor, but the bag burst open and the rocks went one way, and the cat just flew. The
Oh,
other
so you
way.
just threw the
Yeah.
cat into the
And we're
harbor?
just like, okay, so the bag was just to carry the cat here and traumatize my sisters.
Traumatize the children. It's lovely.
Isn't that nice?
That's a lovely story
Yeah.
about a dead cat.
And that's how I became a veterinarian.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. We'll do a hard edit here.
Yeah.
And then we'll be into it.
Holy
Welcome to Rib Night.
Welcome to
There
Rib
we
Night.
go. We've got a little sauce, a little brush. Everyone wants to touch up.
Jesus,
But,
Rafi, this is
in
yeah, there we go. All right, we're all.
Yeah.
napkins? Tres classy, Chuck.
This is
Let's not try to pretend that this isn't the greatest thing that's ever happened to us.
okay.
This is my entire life has been building to this moment.
When the shock wears off, Jesus, these are Fred Flintstone bones. Look at those things.
Yeah, just double bones. All right. So, well, I'm going to go ahead and help myself to
Chuck
something.
will show us how it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just help yourself. Feel free.
Okay.
Oh.
Feel free. And welcome
I've never had these for
Welcome.
breakfast before.
Thank you. Good night.
to our inaugural
sure.
rib night. I don't know if this is technically a podcast portion of a show. Really, what it is we were doing the podcast and then having people come over and eat ribs after the podcast.
Huh.
And people seemed much more interested in the ribs than the podcast.
Yeah.
How did
So-
that happen? People, they were commenting on
I think that the ribs are rarer than podcasting. Comedians getting together and discussing comedy apparently isn't a new thing. And so, as a
But these
result,
ribs.
but comedians being fed food is rare enough that
That's very rare.
yeah, it's a very rare thing. I mean, often you ever been handed a band menu at a venue?
No.
It's the menu that you're allowed like a discount, or sometimes it's free at the venue, but only these items are free. Like this is the food you're allowed.
Where the entrees.
You're allowed to choose from. And I remember I went and there was like 4 items on the band menu that the comics were allowed to choose from, and I wanted something else to eat.
Yeah, 3 of them were coleslaw.
And they seemed really confused by the idea that a comedian was willing to pay for his own food. Which was early days in comedy, and now it was probably that was
you
like
remember
a little
fries?
it was a little for it was
Fries. Wings and fries.
it was the
Wings.
burger, wings, fish and chips, and I think it was a club sandwich.
Oh,
But they also
fancy.
had like they had other they had like steak and lobster. They had some high end like ribs, which they didn't want, I guess, to comp the band for or comp the comedian.
There's lobster on the menu.
Like a restaurant, bar. You get into the smaller markets, and it's the one place that does everything, right? It's like you're at the hotel, and where everyone has their wedding, everyone has their this, everyone does the same thing.
Well, where were we performing at where it was like you get 50% off or something and it was still really expensive? It was,
That's a lot of places.
right.
Yeah.
You get 50%
Well,
off.
every once in a while,
was the
they
bill still
put a
$50?
comedy
I don't
club
know.
in a venue that isn't for comedy people.
Mm.
Like,
Well, I did the Winnipeg yucks the second week after it opened, and they give you like an insane discount, right? It's like 50%.
But it needs to.
And then I'm like, yeah, but
Going in
I'm
here.
not eating. Like people were talking about, yeah, you just go 50%. Like everyone's like, yeah, I'm here for 10 days. Like I'm not going to eat 3 or even 2 meals a day here and still I'm not broke. Like
Or Niagara Falls, where they're like, okay, you get this discount. And it was like, all this does is make it normal prices instead of
Well, Niagara Falls does
rip
the
off
double dip.
tourist prices.
They do the double dip because they've got the tourist tax on everything.
I'm going to tell you, I'm surprised how soft you made these. I thought this would have been a little like you got to tear it off the bone. This is really good.
I was up at 8 o'clock in the morning smoking ribs, man. This is for real and legit. This is what we do here. This isn't
I love this. I love
Rib
that.
Night brought to you by Kraft.
I got to tell you.
I love the theme night of the podcast. Chuck serves you ribs, and when you compliment them on them, he looks at you like you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I was fucking smoking ribs.
They're good.
I tell you, like, these were-
The main reason the show is based in my apartment is that if I'm invited into other people's apartments, I don't get to be an asshole.
I got to tell you, if I knew these would be this good, I would have said yes to being here a lot sooner.
Well, there you go.
Now you know why we shipped it to folks.
Chuck, are you not eating ribs, Nick?
No, I'm gonna eat some. I'm just trying to finish. I'll finish my coffee. You know.
This is wild.
Would you like us to turn it into soup?
Yes,
For
please. Yeah.
your soup January?
Soup.
Is this a man-made sauce? Man-made.
Man-made it,
Or
yeah.
Did a man make
It's
this?
not a homemade sauce, but it's
That's
a
what I
good
meant,
sauce.
homemade.
It's not a home. We're not at that point quite yet. We would very much like to get to the point where we have sauce sponsors. Like we have a few policies that we're 100% Canadian. So it is a Canadian sauce. It's Canadian ribs. I'm assuming we're all Canadians.
I'm still Canadian.
Are you still Canadian? Why? They might make you make a choice. Do you have U.S. papers though?
I do have a green card.
You do have a green card?
I do.
Did you ever live down there full time?
Yes, I lived in Los Angeles for 3-4 years. I say that because it was
Hard to count.
hard to count.
Counting is hard.
Hard to count.
Let's face it.
You know why? Because there was 3 years in a row I was there, and that was with an O1 visa. And then to get a green card, they give you 2 options. They say you can come into this country while we're processing your green card. You can get a temporary green card, but you're not allowed to leave the country. You're a prisoner inside the walls of the
Until
United
your
States
status is
until we
Make a
issue you until we give you a temporary green card while we're still working on the real deal. So.
you gotta wait for your
I did-
temporary status.
Right. So I did that. And because the second choice is you're not allowed into the country at all while we're working on your real green card. You don't get a temporary green card, and we'll let you know whether we accept you for your green card or not. So you could go a year and a half waiting to get in the United States, and then they could say we're not giving you a green card. And all of that time, you have not now networked in the United States. You haven't worked there.
Which is the whole point of going down there.
Right. So I'm like, well, no, I'll just imprison myself in your country for 3 months, and then I'll take the temporary green card, and then you can go back and cross the border as much as you want. So that's what I opted for, and that was painful because it was more than 90 days.
Yeah.
And so you're hemorrhaging money because you
Because,
don't-
well, that's the
you
key.
can't
Is you
work.
always want to be able to pop back to Canada to
Right, and
pick
I'm-
up some gigs.
Right, and under no circumstances can you. So you're just hemorrhaging money. You're not allowed to work in the United States while you're waiting because you don't have the temporary green card yet.
I wonder if that's designed as like a rich people filter, because only rich people could afford to do that.
I never thought of it that way because I was poor by the end of it. So
The filter
Well, I
was
think
3 months of rent, car,
Yeah.
gas, food, miscellaneous, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
It was yeah,
that's like lockdown.
it was like lockdown. So yeah, it wasn't fun. I picked up certain just like small gigs here and there, $90 here, whatever. But nothing,
work.
nothing really. So, but yeah, it was rough. What ended up happening was I actually got an offer to do a cruise ship at around the 90-day mark, and the temporary green card was supposed to arrive at that time, and it hadn't. I'm like, come on! And the offer for the cruise was an Ocean's Crossing, Vancouver to Japan. They were going to be like $5,000, And I'm like, this makes up this 10 days makes up for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then more so, but like makes up for like.
And you're living like a monk like that too. Like every expense, you're debating buying cups of coffee.
Right. Yes, it's real budgeting, and I'm like, so you're just gonna give me like $5,000, just like that? I'm taking it. So I ended up taking the gig, and I ended up. What do they call it? Abandoning my temporary green card process. So I got 2 letters in the mail. I got, hey, here's your temporary green card, and hey, we've revoked your temporary green card because you. So I called my lawyer. I said, I have 2 letters here. Which one should I listen to? And he said, are you holding on to your temporary green card? I said, yes. He says, you have a temporary green card right now. You can use that. So I used it, and then thank God. I ended up getting my green card, and that wasn't after. Well, we need further evidence. I'm like,
Well,
I'm holding back.
But you also worry that like any kind of hiccup in that process can derail it completely.
I don't know if it derails the green card process.
I would be terrified that it was
about it. Yeah, but I've also learned a lot with immigration. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing for a lot of the time. These things go to different departments of
that aren't closest to each other.
Yeah, and where the facility that my green card went to was in a place in Vermont, which looks like a prison. It's this giant dark gray facility where who knows who goes in there. It's like people who don't appear to know what sunlight is.
You got a lot of architectural bias built into you.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Great buildings can't contain good people.
Gray, cementy, fortressy looking
places. Buildings cannot contain good people.
Yeah. Well, the thing is so to get a green card, there's 10 categories to satisfy, but you only have to satisfy 3 to get the green card. I'm like, I think I can do that. Even with the 3, they still said they brought it back and said we need more evidence. To which I'm like, I gave you everything I have. What do I got to manufacture more evidence?
Evidence of what?
So like, let's say one of the categories was like, we need peer group letters. We need letters from people in your business. That's one category to satisfy. They might say, we need more. And you've already gone to everybody you know. And I wrote the letters myself. And I said, can you just sign and print it out on your letterhead, make it easy for the person as possible. So I had to do that. I satisfied 3. Yeah, they asked for further evidence. Yeah, and I'm trying to remember where I was here. So I satisfied 3. And after they asked for further evidence, I hit panic. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Like all this money and all this time spent getting this green card.
Well, and also, whenever you're in any kind of a process like that, I find if you kind of think you're done filling out forms, and then when they come back to you 3 weeks later to ask you a question, you realize, okay, so I'm still at the beginning. Because if you're asking me a question about that form, nothing's happened with that form.
Right. So this is right. I remember what I was thinking about. These people that live and work inside of this fortress, they don't know anything that isn't an Oscar. So if you come in first place in the Great Canadian Laugh-Off competition, so you submit that. I came in first place. Their first question is, well, what is this? So you have to submit it, then explain what it is. You want to like submit an encyclopedia. You want to make their job very hard for them. Yeah. So here's first place Canadian Laugh-Off. Here's why this is important.
This is what it means.
It was taking place at Yuck Yucks. This is what Yuck Yucks is.
Oh, okay.
These are all the people that performed at Yuck Yucks.
This is what people are.
It's like every sentence has 4 different places you can click on.
Right. Everything is a footnote.
Right. But you fill it in. So it's like literature on what this competition is and why it's so important. The facility that it was performed at and why it's so important.
Yeah.
The guy who runs the show, Mark Breslin, this is why he's so important. By the way, here's a letter from Mark Breslin saying, as a guy who's awesome, he's awesome. So it's that. So like, how many papers can you fill in on just the win or second place of this thing? I came in second. That's why I submitted that. That was part of my thing. So like just that alone, I had to get so many papers, and I wanted to put color into it and all that stuff. And then what's the next thing?
Sales pitch.
It's a big old sales pitch. You have to convince them because I got in on the extraordinary talent thing. That was
The old Einstein visa.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. So it's
It's like Melania.
Melania. And
Yeah.
were you, hang on, were you trafficked into the United States?
no, I think that would have been easier.
Way less paperwork.
Are you kidding? It was a painstaking process that took a lot of writing, a lot of research, a lot of asking and begging and hucking. To get it through, and I felt very grateful to anybody and everyone that helped me out through it. But yeah, it's they don't make it fun. Like just like then I'd say just marry somebody, but even that's a painstaking process too. But this one
And
was a real
probably
doozy.
not going to get easier in the next little while.
Well, no, imagine you had all the paperwork, and then they gave you the choice. Do you want to live in the United States to get your temporary green card? Because then after that 3 months, quote 3 months, then you can go to work. Then you can go, hey, I'm available. Then you can even do a movie. You can whatever
Yeah.
should that opportunity come up. But or just anything, tour, whatever. But it's funny. But the irony is that I got into the cruise ship market of it all, and you don't even need papers.
No, because
You can just go.
now, are you when you do cruise, are you technically like a man of no country? Like you're international water, so you're not really working out of Canada or out of the United States.
I think so.
They're paying you out of an LLC registered in Liberia or something.
I think so because I do have to spend a certain time on American soil to become a citizen. But I don't know if they're going to count that because I'm like, well, I'm technically on like I'm working for your American companies. I'm paying American taxes. So
It probably depends whether or not if you leave from the States and don't hit another country before you come back, you're probably considered to be in the United States. But if you like passport in somewhere else, you're no longer considered to be in the United States before you come back.
So I'd imagine that's how they're going to look at it. But I'm like, look, the irony is you gave me this green card based on the fact of what I do for a living.
Yeah.
So you were
You should be aware of what I do for a living.
yeah, this is why you qualified me to have a green card. And so, and just that there's work in America, but sometimes it leaves away from America, but it always comes back. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nick, what countries are you legally allowed to work in?
This one.
That's it.
And Liberia.
And yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean,
Everyone
I want to register my LLC in Liberia.
Shithole countries. I mean, did they even ask?
You know what's terrible is apparently we're a shithole country now too.
Oh yeah.
You think?
But
I don't know. I mean, apparently we're not even a real country according to certain countries.
No. Yeah. The
Well, Mexico's not a real country, according to some people. What are they saying?
we have a
It's
king.
based completely, I think, upon the fact that they're tougher than us.
So it's on toughness.
yeah. Yeah.
We're 10 times larger than you by population, and we've got nuclear weapons. So if we wanted to take over your country, we could, and there's nothing you could do about it. That seems to be the prevailing attitude. There's nothing you could do. Well, I mean, we were talking about this earlier. In the history of humankind, when locals don't feel that they're in charge of their local, that's not a peaceful place to live. Regardless of culture, regardless of country, if the locals don't feel that they're in charge, it's never going to be a nice place to live.
Well, so far, I guess, I don't know. I guess if the scope goes out wider, maybe you see more of the danger of it all. But I think in a more narrow scope, do you find just your own personal lives that it's more dangerous? You worry about walking out at night or just going out?
What I worry about is that people are being the picture of our society that people are being shown is in a lot of cases of like a lawless, as if the government doesn't have control over things already, and things are already lawless and things are already chaotic. And if where you got all your information, depending was like the internet or the news or the media of what the main feed is, it would be hard not to have a perception that things are just crazy.
Yeah,
And
there's some shit that's like actually going on, but it's like you can like walk and chew gum at the same time. Two ideas in your head where you can say, look, I think Toronto probably has gotten a little more dangerous over since the pandemic, during the pandemic, and leading on. Like I think some crime has increased, but I do think that like if all you it's a very classic thing that if all you do is focus on the bad, like it's easy to compound 10 bad stories that happened over 2 months and make it seem like everything's fucking insane.
Yeah.
But there was during the pandemic, or sort of that like little period where the pandemic was like being alleviated and people were starting to get out more, where there was a lot of attacks on subways, buses, at subway stations. Like the woman at Kipling that was lit on fire. There was that woman on the bus who was just stabbed in the face until she died. There's like a bunch of stuff.
And I think a lot of that was also pent up human energy.
Yeah.
That everyone came out of the pandemic, I think, much more sensitive and much more willing to lash out.
Because and it's the way we treated the like COVID and the pandemic in general, where we did put that as the main priority for I think too long. For the first like 6 months, I think that should have been the main priority. But then what ended up happening is they did take priority away from things like addiction, mental health, and then by the time you get 3 years into not giving a shit about that, there are people on a bus who have not been taken care of at all, not like treated properly. Who are like, I'm gonna fucking stab you. Like,
I think that's probably more the case, is that the crimes that we're hearing that might be perceived to be, oh, we're becoming a more violent place, is really just people with mental illness are being less treated. It's like that old Mike McDonald bit. Like, he learned a lot in therapy. I always remembered this. You know how we talked about there's 3 groups? There's group 1, like there's straight edge, people that are managing well on a vice, and then people that just go off the deep end. And it's the people that have gone off the deep end that are like your mentally ill people, or people who have addictions, don't know how to manage them well, and those are the ones that are losing it and stabbing or shooting or pushing people on subways, whatever it is.
It's the same. There's the small percentage that makes up the large percentage. It's like there's a small percentage of people in the healthcare system that eat up a larger proportion of the resources. There's like there's a small portion of our society that's very sick, and treating them is very expensive, and they're always in the hospital. And if you look at it on an individual basis, you say, well, this guy's sucking up all the resources. But it's kind of if you're going to play the game of we have to take care of everybody, some of these people are just, in America, well, those people will just be sent home to die.
Yeah, the social safety net of like taking care of people that are in a worse position than you as a society is a good thing, right? Well, it's inherently good, because anybody can land in that position at any day, any single day, right? So
everybody's one patch of black ice away from needing help for the rest of their life.
Yeah. Right, like my wife is too afraid to take the subway. She doesn't want to ever do it. And we live.
She's a white lady, right?
Yeah.
No, she's black actually. But she's. But
does she know that?
She doesn't know. I'll tell her. I'll tell her later.
Yeah, you want to crack a bottle of wine before you break that news.
Yeah, I'll whisper it right before we walk into a Gulf country club.
Just heads up.
Yeah.
By the way, you're black. Yourself napping.
Be cool.
This could get weird, but
Oh no, it's gonna get weird.
But she hears these stories about, but some guy got stabbed. I go, well, is it too insensitive to think that? I'm not trying to ignore that, but millions of people every day, including right inside of this conversation, are on the subway, using the subway, and everyone's completely safe and fine.
Yeah.
One story breaks out, and now it's like, well, it's just dangerous at any point to take the subway.
Nobody films their subway car when everybody's sitting quietly. Right? And that is out of 10,000 trips a day, that's only one of them is going to be the guy there, and he's taking off his pants and he's asking everybody's going to film that guy.
Right. So my wife takes the subway every morning to work, and now this is the other caveat. We're in a Canadian city that has a subway in the wintertime. And that's when
One of two.
yeah, and that's when it starts to get nuts, right? That is when it starts to fill up with people trying to, get out of the cold, right? Naturally. So she's like,
Oh, you mean like the non-subway people hanging out in the subway?
we just somebody who's like, I'm staying warm. I'm gonna ride the train all day, and so she has several incidents a week that concern her as a small woman that she's just like but she gets off the car and goes to the next car down. Like she's like, I can't be on with this guy. He is talking about how he's going to kill everybody on this car. I'm gonna get off it. But that's rush hour during the winter. Like most of the year, it's you don't necessarily get that as much. Or in different times of the day, you don't see it.
And the guy's just talking about it. Whereas I say, baby, thoughts are not decisions.
That night, very blunt.
Yeah, this guy's yelling he's going to kill everybody. Well, look, I'm thinking it. I'm just not saying it.
Dylan Mendelsohn for the defense.
I definitely do. I have to play that game on the TTC where it's like, are you being an asshole or are you mentally ill? Because I engage with you differently because I'm very mouthy on that.
I've had that situation of Dundas Square.
Yeah.
And I had a guy that was just, the word would be, I guess, menacing. He was walking up, not saying anything, but just being in my space and not just staring at me and being in my space. And that was what I had to go through is because it's a completely different reaction if you think, okay, this guy's obviously got a mental thing going on. I just want to sidestep this.
Yeah.
As opposed to this guy's being an asshole. I want to lean into that a little bit and push him off. Because I'll push off an asshole, but I don't want to push off a crazy guy because you don't know which direction it's going to go. Well, and for me, it was because I was with my kids, it made the decision that much more difficult because if it goes south, now
Which kid do you throw at the guy?
Yeah, with your kids, it's a different ball.
Which of my kids is going to patch up my injuries and get me back to the car?
Yeah. But mental illness or just anger, I mean, I might treat them like they're the exact same and just act accordingly. Whereas, I don't know if are you more of like, I'm going to get in this guy's face and tell him to back off?
No, I'm if a confrontation with a stranger isn't a confrontation with me, it's just someone who wants to confront whatever happens to be in front of them.
Right.
And I'm pretty good at recognizing that and just being, okay, I just don't want to be in front of them. Right? I'm just going to get clear of this because once I'm clear of it, it's gone.
Yeah. Right. I decided
If it's something that I know I'm going to see this person repetitively, then I might have to deal with it. But if I know I'm not going to see someone again, I just
So
move
are
past
you
it.
standing on the corner of Dundas Square waiting for the light to change kind of a thing?
We were sitting in the square eating.
And this guy approaches you and stops.
Yeah, approaches us, stops, and then we stood up to go somewhere, and he was just standing there in our space.
Yeah.
And I can I help you? What's up?
Did he have any
To
response?
no reply. And I think it might have been
mental illness. Yeah.
I think it was also he might have just been a homeless guy, and we were sitting in the spot that he likes to sit in. It could have been as simple as that.
Yeah.
Right? A dog staring at you because you're sitting in a chair.
That aspect is getting also something that needs to be taken care of, and it's probably multi-pronged way to take care of it because like some of the parks in this fucking city are getting out of hand. Like
Oh yeah, they're becoming shanty towns.
yeah, like this. So I like along Young. I like to if I'm walking up Young, rather than walk up Young, there's like this series of parks on the side.
Yeah.
Right? And I love walking through it because it's quiet. It's not as many people bumping into you. You can sit down every now and again on a bench.
They redid a bunch of them and they looked great for 2 weeks.
Dude, I went through this. It would have been last probably summer or late spring, and it was just like. Am I in The Wire right now? This is the fucking Wire. It was clear drug deals going on. Yeah. It was just like, oh, I got your WMD right here. It was fucking nuts. And I was just like, what are we going to do about this? These are public parks. This is why I always this is a thing that gets pisses me off so much is, here, I got a bone to pick.
Here you go. So first bone to pick. It's awesome.
I got a bone to pick with, I live in the Broadview, Danforth area, and there's a ton of mansions, just up there in that area, right? Gigantic fucking houses,
old school Toronto homes. And some of them are dental offices and some of them are 15 apartments.
Well, there's a couple that are apartments, but there's a very very like noticeable amount where it's just like that is a rich family that lives there, and that house has been owned probably by this family for a very long time. Like there's one that's like literally walls around it, and it's like that's a house, you know. And then you see some of these things, and you get they were putting signs up on their lawn saying. Don't evict our neighbors, referring to people in the accountants. And I was just like,
They're not your neighbors.
fuck you, they're not your neighbors. B, you guys, when you guys want a little outdoor activity, you go to your cottage that you own, or you go on a trip somewhere. There are people in the city who
You
can
go
only
outside behind your lovely wall.
Exactly, right? You have a whole yard, and then you have a cottage, you have all this other stuff. There's people who like literally cannot afford to go on vacations, don't have cottages, whatever, who use the public parks that their tax dollars pay for to take, picnics with their family.
That's 80% of the population, by the way.
Yeah.
Can't afford to go on vacation.
Yes, you can't just be like that. That whole idea is like, oh, don't evict our neighbors. Like it's not affecting you. It's affecting people poorer than you, and it's poor people who are living in the parks. But these people that are living in the parks are like, there's one park near me where I was just sitting there and I was on the phone. I was having a conversation. I said something on the phone. This guy walked by. I was like, "What'd you say?" And I'm like, because he was a drug dealer coming in. I was like, again, what? I don't know how the cops aren't just
It's
sitting
his
there going
park.
like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, it's not your fucking park, man. Like this is like I live like around the corner. Like
I'm gonna take up some of this space.
What does it mean when you say like don't evict your neighbors? Is there an issue where?
Well, because right after and sort of during the pandemic, that's when the real like tent communities in a lot of these parks picked up, and then I think it was under what's the fucking last mayor's name? He was so Tory, yes. He was so not memorable afterwards. But like that's one thing he did.
It's one of the few. I mean, the last few mayors have been like dishwasher salesman, crack addict, and then accountant.
Yeah. So one popped up,
Why isn't that on the welcome signs when you go to Ontario?
You deal on the appliance, on the pipe.
Well, yeah. So he organized a thing where he was basically like, we gotta do something about this.
Yeah.
And the police went in, and then all these protesters showed up, and they were like, you can't do this. And I was like, yeah, actually, we fucking can, and it's only going to get messy because you guys are here. Like literally, we're just gonna go around. Homeless people who live in tents in the park are very used to being told to move. Like it's you guys, like these fucking upper middle class white liberal fucking assholes who basically get in the way of just, this is a law, you can't live. There used to be a thing like cops used to walk a beat and kick people out of the park.
Yeah, I can't just go and grab a tent and be like, I just want to hang out in the park.
Not be allowed to. I remember in Vancouver there was a bunch of. You weren't allowed to park overnight. In parks in a lot of places because they didn't want people sleeping in their cars, right? Because people just go and park their car and living in their cars and stuff like that. And there's all sorts of, moving along so you can't. And I agree that those liberals are wrong. The problem is they're kicking everybody out of the park with no strategy as to where they're supposed to go.
That's another part, right? Like I totally understand. It's
pretty weird.
But it's a situation in Toronto that we could have seen coming if we were looking for it. In that, okay, when there was this mass immigration wave that came to Canada, and in your mind you think, well, that'll kind of disperse throughout the country, and it doesn't. There's generally three places people end up: Montreal, Toronto, Calgary. Those are the three places in the country that are going to get. No matter who shows up, they're going to end up in one of those three places.
Immigrants.
Immigration-wise. And they can't tell you.
I thought Winnipeg got a whole whack of it.
It does, but they don't stay there.
Oh.
They start in Winnipeg, and then they realize, there's better opportunities for pretty much anything in other places than Winnipeg.
Yeah. And Vancouver isn't a hot spot for that as well?
Vancouver's too expensive. Right.
So you're saying these are immigrants, not necessarily homeless people that are...
People are once you're in the country and you have status and you're not going to get kicked out, where do people in Canada move to?
Toronto,
Montreal, Toronto, Calgary. That's where people move to. It used to be Vancouver. Vancouver used to be a hot top. People all across the country used to move out to Vancouver. Some of them would stop in Calgary and stay in Calgary.
Yeah.
Some of them would stop in the interior. People would end up in Calgary. When Harris was the premier in Ontario, he gave people bus tickets to move to Vancouver to get them off the welfare rolls. But now people know that the destination of Vancouver is going to cost you twice as much as living in Calgary, so they don't go to Vancouver anymore. You can't live there.
So they wouldn't pick like Saskatchewan at this point, where Regina or Saskatoon would be like cheaper.
Like refugees.
I'm talking to all of you people that are.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper here. It's cheaper to live, but only if you've got work, right?
Yeah.
If you've got no, Toronto's expensive to live, but it's where the work is.
Right.
So you can struggle to get by in Toronto, but at least you're struggling. If you're living in Regina, you're just unemployed.
Makes sense.
And being unemployed in Regina
And
is awful.
But as a result, the population of Toronto basically doubled.
Yeah.
And the amount of services didn't double. The amount of affordable housing didn't double. None of the things. When you double the size of a city, you're probably going to more than double the amount of poor people in it.
You know what always baffles me is that how expensive it is to live in this city, and there's that many cars on the highway. How are these people affording cars?
They don't live in town.
They don't live in town. So
That's why we got the highway. I mean, people are living out.
it is so congested. There's no such thing as rush hour anymore.
No, it's all day long.
Yeah, if you want to get someplace, well, you got to leave at 3 a.m.
That is the perfect time to live.
But it isn't though, because if they close one lane down on the 401, the entire place is gridlock at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's the best time to visit. 3 a.m.
Yeah. They close the bars down. Come on by.
Yeah.
They just appointed somebody, the traffic czar in Toronto. Did you see that? And I think what their position was before was in the realm of that. It had something to do with congestion in their title, but now they're an official traffic czar. And this is where all the people who are screaming about we need small government are bang on correct. Like, once you start adding czars for fucking shit like that, it's like, no, you don't need a czar. You need more highways, more transit. You need to make the GO train more appealing. Like, there's a lot of things that you can, and I know it costs money, but like that LRT or whatever, the Eglinton, and then the one up on, is it Finch, right?
Yeah.
And the Finch one's open, and it's terrible. And then the Eglinton one, I think they were like doing some test runs to show people that was moving, but it's like,
I've been living on the east side close to Eglinton for coming up on 10 years in Toronto. A couple different locations, but coming up on 10 years. And for the last 5, maybe 4 years, it's seemingly complete. Like if you look at it, it looks like a train line that is complete. The stops are built, the lights are up, they've got grass in between the tracks. It's very pretty in the summertime. The trains are running along it.
Mm-hmm.
They have been running along it for well over a year now, and they're all testing.
Mm-hmm.
They're all testing trains.
Wow.
And it's been happening for a year, and I'm just like, it seems to be
But it's
working,
not. But it's not an
but it's
operation
not
right now.
open.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right? They're running trains up and down it all day long.
It's like,
Nobody's
don't know
on
if
the
these trains can carry people yet.
see, this is where you gotta, if you really want a thing with this, when it comes to trains to speed through, you just hire people on the spectrum and you just put them on it round the clock,
Yeah.
and they'll get
Like
that.
trains.
That Eglinton would have been running fucking 10 years ago.
You
That is
people, neurodivergent superpowers.
It's the one area where fascism really shines.
So they made the trains.
Trains running on time.
What fascism? We just go up to somebody else and we're like, hey, you're going to in charge of trains. And they're like, thank you.
Finally.
I just don't understand how you can how you can be testing something for a year and either not decide. How can it take a year to decide whether or not it's working?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, it's all
It's
like,
a
but it's all
train.
bureaucratic safety bullshit, right? It's like
that what it is?
each train, each actual individual train, from what I understand, needs to run a certain amount of hours before it's allowed to even carry passengers to test. Like,
That's insane.
Yeah.
Sort of
exactly, and I'm sure it's 1,000 hours too many. You know, like.
Why not
I mean,
paid?
why did they
People who are already thinking about being on the way out?
Why
and
you
be
just
like,
put
all
them
right.
on the tracks to Montreal and run them up and back 12 times in a day?
Just what do they have that perfect? It's got they're perfectionists. They're perfectionists.
No. I've talked to people who work at the TTC. They are not perfectionists by any stretch of the imagination.
They needed like a 3rd grade
I
teacher
think
to walk
most
in and go better, never pass.
I think most of them are in it for the warm coat.
I just don't understand how there's 0 consequences for not achieving any of your goals.
Because again, our lack of fascism, right?
Yeah.
In China,
You know,
the train isn't built on time. They kill that guy and they tell the next guy, you might want to get the train to go on time.
I think I might be fascist by the end of this episode.
I think some results-driven stuff in the government would be better. Like, I mean, that's what happens. Like, that's why I'm saying with the small government people have a good argument for a country like Canada, because it's like it's too sprawling, it's too big, involves too much bureaucracy. It's like hiring a person, bloating up a department just to so that a bunch of people can get a report on their fucking desk at some point in time to sign it and then pass it to the next person. And it's just like, guys, can we just get some? That's why you would never last. Government would never last as a private organization because they're results driven. It's like, nope, you're not making us money. Get the fuck out.
I hear that argument a lot is the government should run more like a business. But the problem is government and business are not in the same industry.
Right, because a business might get it going before it's even possibly ready.
Business is only interested in profit, and a government is specifically not interested in profit. A government generally runs at a deficit. You're not worried about having more money than you need. You're worried about generating enough money so you can do the things you want to do. I think we make the mistake is we don't let our government get greedy. We don't let our government go, these people in our economy are making out like bandits, and we're going to take a bigger cut. Because with that bigger cut, we're going to be able to do whatever else in the rest of the year.
Hire 7 more people to
And then you look at the financial industry, and all of these people they have their carried interest, which is essentially the percentage of profit, and they get taxed at it as if it's a capital gain instead of income, even though they're earning it as part of their job, so it should be income, but it gets taxed as an investment rather than as an income. And if we just got rid of that loophole, all of a sudden these people that are claiming that they're making, let's say, $300,000 a year and then they get $1 million bonus, all of a sudden they're making $1.3 million a year.
Yeah, so what that would mean that the
That would mean they're paying it at a higher tax rate, so they're paying what they should be paying. It's essentially what they've done is they've just separated their pay.
Isn't that corruption?
No, it's a loophole that you put into the tax code if you've got good connections.
Well, yeah, but you also
Right?
can't
And
people from
That feels
unrealized
just
income.
unfair in a sense. Like,
The right and the capitalists do a very good job of aggressively forcing government to give them a break. And I don't think governments do a good enough job looking those people in the eye and going, go screw, we're taking your money.
Yeah,
All these threats of, we're going to go to another country, we're going to pull the business out. I'm like, it never happened.
we're a bit on the
The threatening to leave thing is horseshit.
Yeah.
We're going to leave America.
You never leave.
Really? Where are you going to go move?
See, I'm
Yeah.
but I am a bit on the opposite side of this because I don't like capital gains taxes. I don't mind taxing it once you cash in your stocks, your investments, your whatever, right? But also, I think that should be reasonable because remember, Freeland was talking about raising a capital gains tax to like 60%. It's already in the 30%, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And people always think, oh, okay, it's going to affect these fucking First of all, we don't have that many billionaires in Canada. There's like 8.
There's a few.
I know. There's like 30 or something like
but
that.
it's an
maybe.
incentive, right? That's why the capital
No, but
gains tax
there was.
exists.
I read a really good article with a doctor talking about who owned a practice who was like, well, now I've built this practice up. It's worth this amount of money. If I sell it, I actually only get 40% of it, and I have to give the 60% to the government. So now I can't retire. I have to change my whole structure. That's what I'm going to do. This is a doctor. This isn't like a slick Wall Street stockbroker. This is a man who dedicated his life to healing people. And the government's like, yeah, we're going to take 60%. For what? Yeah, just because, it's 60% of my fucking money. Like, that's ridiculous. It's not like he hasn't paid taxes his entire life. And high taxes. He's paid a ton of money in taxes. I just don't understand. And then you give it to a government that then fucking pisses it away. Like
Well, yeah, but the government's job is to piss it away.
Well, then that's I'm sorry, but that's a non-argument. Like you cannot. You can't say that the government's job is to piss away my money. Fuck you. Like you're not like yes, you can say that that's what they do, but the fact that you're complacent to accept that that's what you get out of your government is fucking
Your
horseshit.
government's going to spend the money on whatever it is most politically expedient for them to spend it on.
That's why
So if
people
the
are mad.
people- But if the people actually were mad about where the money was being spent and they engaged, it would change, and it would change quickly. Because politicians respond
that
to
point.
only one thing,
As soon as
and
that's
that's
not
voter
evidence.
shifting.
Yeah.
Vote shifting is the only thing a politician will ever respond. Now we're going.
Now, that
Oh.
was better.
That was delicious.
That was delicious.
Was
If I have a bone to pick with you, it's that your ribs are too good, Chuck Byrne.
They're very good ribs.
Very good ribs.
Well, that was a wonderful conversation.
It was a wonderful conversation with some wonderful people. We didn't cover things we planned to talk about. Who cares about people's babies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
congratulations on your new baby, Dylan.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but at the end of the day, we didn't really want to talk about it.
the miracle of birth happened for the 800 billionth time.
Yeah, exactly. It's not all that exciting. But it was a good episode. I think we learned a couple of things.
Yes.
Ribs mean people get interrupted less.
Yes.
Um,
They give you something to talk with. It's always nice to have something in your
It-
hand to
it's-
gesticulate and be like, yeah.
Well, and I find I don't know how it's going to end up sounding. We'll find out how it's going to end up standing in the edit. But I did find that when we were recording with the microphones, because we're dealing with people that perform with microphones, everybody got real greedy on that mic a little bit. So by giving them the lav mic, you can't you inherently
more of a
don't know-
conversation.
Well, you're not playing to the microphone as
Fair
much.
enough. Fair enough.
We'll see if it plays out in the
See how it works. And if we get a lot of mouth noises, we will just parlay that into getting some ASMR folk on board because people love that.
Yeah, but also we're also happy to announce that it looks like we're going to be adding a tech partner to the equation.
Gasp.
Now, I won't use the person's name yet
No.
because it's not finalized. But if we have it, once we have our tech partner, it's going to be like a 3-camera live stream
The future is now.
discotheque
Yeah.
up in this place.
Yeah.
It's gonna get
So what
Be-
if no one
better.
goes to the discotheque anymore? So what if that's a 30
people go to the
to 40?
discotheque.
They don't call it a discotheque.
They do in Europe.
Yeah, but Europeans? You want to go partying with Europeans?
Yes.
Really?
Socialized medicine. You can fuck everybody in Europe without a condom. I'm just telling you the way it is.
I mean, that's how colonialism
Sorry,
worked.
sorry. Western Europe.
Come on.
Eastern Europe, you're still gonna want to put a little thing on your pierogi,
Yeah.
if you know what I'm saying.
Or at least dip it in some vodka
Yeah.
before and after.
Or turpentine.
Light a match. Just burn it off.
Remember, if it catches fire, it'll protect you.
No more syphilis if it's on fire.
No more
If
syphilis.
it burns when you pee, it's bad. If it just burns because you set it on fire, you're good.
Okay. Is that a syphilis symptom if it burns when you pee? I thought that's like chlamydia or something, isn't it?
I don't know.
Syphilis makes you go mad.
Eventually, yeah. Syphilis is a long con. Syphilis is like, oh, you had some fun? Okay, you're gonna regret this for the next 30 years while we turn your brain into Swiss cheese. Tertiary syphilis.
Tertiary syphilis.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I remember there was a Law and Order episode years ago where John Boy from the Waltons
Had syphilis.
was
Regular Law and Order?
obviously crazy and he
Or
killed someone. Yeah, old school.
Sexy
old school.
Victims Unit.
This might have been old school, like Michael Moriarty before he went crazy. I think that's actually he might have had syphilis.
Oh, that makes a lot more
There's
sense.
there's something to look up, kids. Michael Moriarty going crazy because he truly deep-ended it right out of Hollywood. It was beautiful.
Syphilis. We're gonna start that rumor now that that's what caused it.
I don't know. It seems like a good way to go. Lose your mind happily.
Yeah.
And the cause of it at the end of the day was sex with a dirty, dirty partner.
Yeah.
It's nothing but green lights in the Chuck Byrne book, right? I mean, I've had sex with all sorts of dirty partners, and I've never been able to walk away with syphilis.
No.
No. What do I
Those
get?
women are saying the same thing about you.
Oh, well, trust me, they walked away with something.
I mean, some of them had a bit of a limp.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And
now we're
most of them had
talking.
low self-esteem.
Mainly because I fell asleep on top of them.
Yeah. Yeah, the
But self-esteem, no. I promise you, any woman that I slept with arrived with low self-esteem. When she walked out the door, that self-esteem was much higher than when she walked in the door. Yeah. If there's anything I'm good at doing is comparatively improving your life.
If you want an oxytocin boost,
Right there.
get some
Right
Chuck
there.
Byrne in you.
Deep. I don't know. This is taking a bit of a turn.
Taking a bit of a turn.
I think the problem is usually when we shoot this, we're still hungry. And now we're a little bit full, so we're satiated. We're getting a little bit cocky.
Yeah, we got not like meat sweats, but definitely some meat lubricated tongues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A little more mucusy.
Yeah.
A little more mucusy, I would find. Well, that could also be the smoking. Who knows? Apparently, you remember one of the previous episodes, you explained to me how I was going to die of COPD.
Yes.
That's been keeping me up.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
I laughed openly in your face. I enjoyed that clip because I just laughed at the fact that you were going to die.
Exactly.
I just-
And it's remarkable in that short 30-second clip exactly how many times you mentioned I was going to die. It was like 4 or 5
Yeah, yeah.
in 30 seconds.
But you have to repeat the message.
Well,
You have to hear something
You-
7 times.
You
before
really
it gets
wanted
in.
to make it clear to me that I was going to die. It was going to be unpleasant,
Yes.
and that the net result would be glee for you.
Well, I mean, when it happens, just give me the nod when you want me to step on your oxygen hose and be like, okay, you know what? I've had enough. Step on the hose.
My dad's been saying that. My dad's been, because my grandfather had Alzheimer's, and so my dad's been saying that, when the time comes, I'm going to get on a plane to Switzerland because they have legalized assisted suicide in Switzerland. And to which my reply is always, sounds kind of expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, couldn't I just smother you with a pillow?
Get some
Hey,
nice pillows.
a lot more cost effective and kind of adds to the joy of the moment.
A little bonding.
Yeah, give me something to do, right? You're always saying I need something better to do. Do that.
I do get to unplug my parents.
You-
I'm the one who's of the 4 children. I'm the one who gets to make the
You're
decision.
the power of attorney?
Yeah, they're like, okay, well, you used to kill stuff all the time, and they're like, yeah, and I know when it's your time,
Yeah,
and I'm all about quality of life, my quality of life.
I would not give a power of attorney to someone who gleefully talks about murdering things so much as you do. I'd be worried that I'd be in there and I'd just be asleep with a broken leg, and you'd be like, "All right, well, I guess that's it.
All right, you said it too good for too long.
Got to shoot this horse.
Yeah, we're running out of glue.
Need more glue."
Glue's not gonna make itself.
No, the glue never makes itself.
No.
No. You don't-
Mucilage. Yeah.
You know what makes itself? Good times make themselves.
Ribs don't make themselves.
No, ribs
Mhm.
required me to get up for the crack of dawn,
Yeah.
put them in the smoker, and delicious.
I mean, it's winter. Crack of
It's
dawn is
good.
like what, 9 right now? So that's
Crack of dawn's
that's
about
pretty
5 to
early.
12. About 5 to 12, the sun will come up,
Yeah.
and then it kind of takes a little peek over the horizon, and then it's
Exactly.
like, oh, it's still
Like-
Canada. No thanks.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. Thank you for joining us for this episode, and please follow at Preparing to Podcast
Yeah.
on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and
TikToks and
TikToks, and is it Dr. Ted Morris?
Dr. Ted Morris on the
On
Instagram.
and Chuck B. Jokes on the
Jokes.
interwebs.
Check out Nick Beaton's podcast. Agree.
And who's here next week? Next week, episode 8 will be George Westerholm.
Who's that guy, Trevor? That'll make more
A
sense.
comedian, a musician. He was a writer for the Rick Mercer Report for many years. Wonderful guy, and he's got stories, I'm sure. And Jeff McHenry of Letterkenny fame. Jeff McHenry's going to be here, being
Awkward. He might not say anything.
yeah.
Just having him here is
I look forward to Jeff being awkward and shy, which is really all show business wants out of anybody.
just quietly shaking in the corner.
Quietly shaking in the corner. Until next week, that's exactly what we'll be doing.
Yeah.
Quietly shaking.
Quietly shaking in the corner, thinking about syphilis.
Have a good week, everybody.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.